Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for episode 49 of the Railcraft server Let's Play. And in this episode, we're going to get that button working. So, first off, switch over to the other monitor, and we're going to reshape this button. So, I guess we don't want a white button. Let's make it this green. So I guess for the shape we want it kind of like that sort of shape. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's no way to write text on the screen in this simulation, I guess. Although I would want to add that in the future and have you be able to position it, and then it would generate the code to draw that automatically in the correct places and such. But this will do for now. So we'll select that. We'll have this, and we'll go to IntelliJ, and in here we're going to draw our button. We'll place that code kind of there. We want this color, and we're going to do a GPU set background to that, and then we're going to have this set it back to black afterwards. And that's pretty much it. That's going to draw this square, and I could go through some trouble. I'm actually going to make it one row taller because it would be slightly... Actually, no. Well, yeah, I guess that will work. So the label isn't that long, so it won't intersect with the button in any way. So that's just a plain button. I could draw some text on it, but I don't really feel like... well, I guess we can do it with this, even though it's not made to do that. So I'm going to delete this shape actually and create a new one. So it's actually going to be that size. Now it's 17 blocks or rows. So it's odd. So I think the center is there. And we can draw a shape through this, which we can then select, and we get the approximate position of that, although it's going to be slightly the wrong shape, of course. Now I want to keep the same background, obviously, to match the button, and we're going to keep... Actually, that should be 59, I think. Then that should be... Actually, we don't need those because we're going to change this to set. And then we're going to have this, say, override. We're going to upload that, pop back into Minecraft, and we're going to boot up the tablet and see what it looks like. I might have messed up completely. Oh yeah. Right. I adjusted that in the wrong direction, and I actually want to push it towards the center. So I can shut that down and switch to IntelliJ at the same time. And we actually want this to be, say, 64. Could calculate that, but I don't think that's necessary. Okay, that's almost good. So I think 65 should work. I'm not going to bother switching to show that. So let's just update it. Okay, that's good. Now when I click this, nothing happens because we haven't done that part of the code yet, of course. So let's close that and we'll switch back to IntelliJ. So we want another function called onTouch. And we have the code for that over here. So we want to copy these arguments so I don't have to remember them on my own. And then we're going to add, we can just steal that as well, I guess. That and that. Just put that there, and then we'll bump the ignore down there. Remove the extra line break. Why is that? Oh. Right. I don't know why IntelliJ does that. It's a little weird. So, if we go back here, and we select this, then we're going to copy this if statement. Then we're going to go back here, and we're going to put that there. And that's all we need to do, because we have X and Y here, and everything else was automatically filled in. So now all we need to do is tell the code what we want to happen when we press the button. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a function here called drawButton, and then we're going to say color, and then we're going to take this code, put it in here, and do this. And we're going to take color there. And then we're going to do that. And what I'm doing here is when you call set background or set foreground to set a new background or foreground color respectively, it returns the previous color, the one you're overriding, as, well, a return value. You can catch that in a variable, and then after you're done drawing what you're drawing, you can use that variable to reset the color to what it was before you did your stuff. So now we have an easy way of drawing this button and setting the color to whatever color we want, and then resetting it to whatever it was before. So here we're going to draw button, and then we're going to take this nice green color that we were using. Now down here, we are going to put that draw button code, but we're going to make it red, so the button background will be red instead. And we're going to modem broadcast on the 2 server port. We'll call it override, and then set it to true. Actually, what really going to do is we're going to create a variable here called override state equals false. And then we're going to, down here, we're going to send the override state. If override state, then, so if override state is true, button is going to be red, else we want the green one from here. And then we're going to end. We also want to update the override state, and I think we can do this. Let's use that. That should simply invert it. I don't think that's going to work. So what we're going to do instead is, if override state is true, then override state is now false. If override state is false, override state is now true. Then we're going to go into here, and if data equals to override, then we're going to handle the override event or override update. So we're going to say here, local override state equals true, no, false. So if it receives this package, data2 will contain the override state, which is just a boolean. So we're going to update that, and then we're going to have to use this. So basically, we'll still update the capacities, but if override state, then stuff there, otherwise operate as normally. So if the override is enabled, that does say end. Yeah, sometimes I write EMD. So if the override state is enabled, print just print override enabled, and then turn everything off. And that's all that will do. Now, we are going to include the override state here. Because potentially there could be multiple clients connected to the or interacting with the server. So, and in that case, we are going to want to be able to tell that someone else has enabled the override. So we probably want this to be conditional as well. So we're going to just copy this, replace this, and remove the variable updates because we don't need those there. So that should do it. So now if we go back to Minecraft and we turn this on, we can click that. That's going to take 5 seconds to update. Okay, apparently it didn't work. Let's have a look here. All right, I need to restart the server as well. It's probably something I should have realized. We're going to add an update interface call so that it redraws the button immediately, so you can tell that something happened. So let's save that. We'll shut that down, and we'll shut this down. Start that up. So now it should be running with the updated code that should support override. So, oh. Huh. So it's not actually setting the state correctly. Or it's... That's interesting. Well, the button is responding at least, but it's... I assume something is going wrong on the server. If override state, then print something like that. Let's try that instead. Restart that. So now if I click that, it doesn't seem to... Did I name the events wrong? That's looking for override. And it's broadcasting override. I'm not sure what is going on. It doesn't look like it's receiving the... Oh, I see what I did. I wrote date instead of data. Probably helps if you are calling the variable the right name. So now... What? Okay. Well, that's not right either. So what happens? Do I have the states messed up? If override state, this should just invert it on touch. Oh, right, the draw button. We don't need that because the draw button should update it immediately anyway. Okay, that's really weird. I'm really unsure what's going on. Let's start this back up. And then let's start this back up. So the override should now be false. And the reactor is allowed to run. So it should be able to start up shortly. And it does. If I click this, it's... Why does it say override disabled there? It's as if it's only sending override false. So in the client code, if override state is... Override starts out as false. If it is false, it should set it to true. And then it should draw the... Wait. Did I messed these up, didn't I? That's the red. No. Oh, wait. I think I messed these up because it's supposed to be inverted. Okay. Let's restart that. You didn't see what I did, but I flipped the button colors. Okay, it still doesn't really work. Oh. And it also... we also need... Oh, wait, no, I'm unregistering the touch events. Okay. So I just changed places of these two things. That should include the override. Weird. Let's print this. Actually, let's just do override state change and then append data. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? That said date too. Dang it. Which is nil, which I guess evaluates to false. Right. So I shouldn't... need that. Should only need that. Okay, so let's update that. We'll go back to Minecraft once again. And we'll restart the reactor program. We'll boot this up. So now it should work. Or not. That's not supposed to be blinking. Why is it doing that? Well, this part is sort of working. I guess. This has to be getting mixed messages. Oh. Wait. No. Okay. Let's have a look. So it draws the button there. But I'm not touching it, so this should be the only thing that's drawing the button currently, which is the update interface. What kind of state is it? Let's do a print override state there. And then we'll go back to Minecraft here. Reboot this. Oops. Oh, I probably can see the prints because they're being cleared. Well, that's really strange. Why would it do that? I can't fathom why it would be alternating the override state like that. Okay. So it's setting it to false. That's the default on both of these. It doesn't have anything to do with the touch event. I don't see how it could be doing that. On the server, it's when it receives an override. Okay, if I reboot the server now, the override should be fine. And if I then go into here, it should not be blinking, right? It's still blinking. Just look at this. It's still blinking. And I shut it down with the hotkey. Again. Well. That's really weird. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the episode about here. And I'm going to debug this off camera, try to find the issue, and then in the next episode, I'm going to, assuming I find it, tell you what the problem was. And then we should be done once this works properly. So then we should be good to set this up. Unless I think of something else to do with it. So, with that, I will see you in the next episode.